is in what appears to be a great amount of pain and making his way back. From the Tar Heel injury perspective, Trimble has left the bench and gone to the back, and Dr. Alex Creighton, one of the team doctors for Carolina, has gone back with him. So don't know if that's precautionary or not. We will learn a little more after the game, I'm sure. Let me quickly remind you that the Good Feet store is a sponsor of Carolina. Foot, knee, hip, or back pain. Good Feet Arch Support's engineered to support all four arches to provide pain relief, balance, and comfort. Try them for yourself. Book your free fitting today at goodfeet.com. Cadeau has 2 free throws. The first one's too strong. Let's break 10 seconds for station ID. Heels up 69-56, 4:41 to go. Down the lines on the Tar Heel Sports Network. Cadeau makes the second free throw, so 70-56, Carolina by 14. And the Heels sticking with that full court pressure. Florida State able to break it and get a foul on the other side. Deontay Green gets fouled driving on the left by Cormac Ryan. First foul on Ryan, 5th on Carolina. That will result in free throws for Green. Florida State still has not made a field goal in a while. They're 0 of their last 9 and do not have points in nearly 6 minutes. That will change if Green can make a free throw here. He is a 63% shooter, but 6 of 7 last game and gets Florida State a point at the line. So 70-57. Seth Trimble has returned to the bench for Carolina as the second free throw no good and knocked out of bounds by Florida State. So Carolina will have possession. FSU going to pick up full court. 4:33 to go. Heels 70, Florida State 57. Carolina going to have to try and get it in against this FSU pressure, and Cormac Ryan can't do it, has to take a timeout. So the Tar Heels, which they've been using pressure so effectively, have to take a timeout because of Florida State's pressure. Heels have 2 left. Florida State is out of timeouts. Possession arrow to Carolina, and the foul situation, Tar Heels in the double bonus. Tar Heels have been whistled for 5 fouls, so Florida State would still need 2 more on the Heels before they get into the bonus. So Marcus, not done yet, but Carolina has done a good job here, down 14 at one point, now on a 22-1 run over the last 4:45, spurred by some really good defense. They had 5 steals in the midst of this big comeback, which all resulted in points. Man, it's been a furious return here from Carolina.
Fantastic job by the Tar Heels, just kind of kicking it into high gear. Would have loved to have seen that kind of energy from the beginning, but hey, you know, they got to the point where they look at each other and say, hey, look, it's time to go. It's time to get this thing going, and they certainly have.
Still 4:33 to play. We have taken the 4-minute timeout as well, so there's not going to be an under 4 timeout. We've already taken it due to the injury to Fletcher, so not expecting any more long breaks here, although the Heels do have 2 timeouts remaining. Cadeau able to get it front side after getting the inbounds against the Florida State pressure. He's tick-tocking the dribble out in the center jump circle. The lengthy Watkins guarding him. Carolina content to burn a little clock. Shot clock gets down to 10. Cadeau going to drive left, whips it out to R.J. Davis. Pump fake on the 3, drops it down to Baycott. Hook shot from the right. No, Ingram tried to dunk in the finish, couldn't get it. Gets his rebound back again, goes back up in traffic and can't score. Couple of good looks there for Carolina, but they couldn't get one to drop. And now Darren Green going to try a transition 3 and knock it in. So Florida State back within 10 as Green hits his first bucket of the second half. 70-60 with 3:45 to go. Cadeau will slow things up again. Tar Heels had good looks on that last sequence, but couldn't get one to go. 70-60. Cadeau trying to cross over past Watkins. Gets deep and lost the ball, tipped out by Florida State. It will stay with Carolina with 7 on the shot clock. R.J. Davis is not being guarded right now in the right corner. Now Florida State realizes it. 7 on the shot clock. Heel's going to have to get something quickly, and the inbounds is taken away. Worley with the tip, the steal, and the dunk. And just like that, FSU back within 8.
Now the third time they've had trouble getting the ball in. Ball out of bounds underneath.
Inbounds goes to R.J. Davis. So now Florida State on a 6-0 run. They've cut Carolina's 14-point lead down to 8. 3 minutes to play. Davis in the center jump circle, guarded by Worley. Bounce pass to Baycott. Outside the arc on the right wing. Back to the basket. And a foul is called on Worley off the ball for holding Ingram, and that's 5 on Worley. First time he's fouled out this year. He will exit with 4 points with 2:53 to go. And that will put Ingram to the line for 2 shots. Trying to stop this 6-0 run by Florida State. Well, now everybody's going to come to the bench for a second. .253 to play. Ingram at the free throw line for 2 shots. Carolina was down by as many as 14, then a huge run got them up 14. But Florida State on a 6-0 spurt to cut it down to 8, with Ingram now at the line for 2 free throws with 2:53 to go. And makes the first. Carolina 21 of 26 as a team at the free throw line. 16 of 20 this half. Second one short by Ingram. He knew it right when he shot it. 71-62. It's a 9-point Carolina lead. Florida State working in the half court. Watkins to Baba Miller between the circles to the dangerous Darren Green. Over to Jackson. Jackson going to get a foul called on Davis out on the perimeter. First on Davis. That's the 6th on Carolina. So just an inbound for Florida State with 2:38 to go. 71-62. Carolina by 9. Tar Heels don't have a field goal in the last 2:34. Watkins to inbounds on the far sideline. Gets it into Baba Miller in the corner. He'll dribble up the right sideline for FSU. Out in the middle of the court, it goes to Jackson. Florida State looks a little out of sorts where they want their players positioned. There's now Jackson going to go. Drives on Ingram. A foul is called, and Ingram going to pick up the foul. Jackson nearly got the shot to go, but it rolled out. But Jackson, an excellent free throw shooter at 9 of 10 on the year, will go to the line. That's also 7 fouls on Carolina now. So Florida State has gotten into the bonus. But this will be 2 shots due to the action by Jackson. He's made 7 straight this year. And it stops there as that one came up short. Still 71-62 with 2:25 to go. 3 dribbles, a spin, and Jackson does make the second. 71-63, Florida State will pick up with full court pressure. Carolina gets it into R.J. Davis. He'll wait for everybody to head back the other way. 2:20 to go. Davis comes up the front side on the right. 20 on the shot clock. Davis still working on the right side of the court. Bounces down to Baycott. Triple team is there. And Baycott lost the ball. Hubert Davis screaming at him to make a better decision, as the other way is a layup by Watkins. 2 minutes to go, and Florida State's back within 6. Cadeau in the backcourt. Smith's in her crowd, nervous as Carolina came back from 14 down to lead by 14, but has seen the lead whittled down to 6. Carolina does not have a field goal in the last 3:10. Minute 40 to go. 10 on the shot clock for R.J. Davis between the circles. Davis in the corner. It goes to Cormac Ryan. Back out to Davis. A really long 3. Yes! Long distance. Put on the 3 goggles, young man. 74-65. Carolina back up by 9. Deontay Green, hard drive, got by Cadeau and laid it in. Green has been effective this half. Minute 12 to go. 7-point Tar Heel lead. Carolina gets it into R.J. Davis. They have 2 timeouts, but he's able to break the pressure to Cadeau. He'll pitch it to Ingram, and now the Heels slow it down. To a trailing Cormac Ryan, now to Davis. 1 minute to play. 74-67 Carolina. R.J. Davis out of the timeline. Chandler Jackson asking if he should foul, and Coach Hamilton originally said no, then he says yes. So Jackson fouls R.J. Davis, his second, and that'll put Davis to the line for 2 shots. R.J. Davis with 23 points. He has 103 points in the last 4 games for Carolina, with a chance to add to it here at the Strike. Davis to the line. 52.8 to play. Gets the shooter's roll. Front iron, backboard, and in. Davis 5 of 5 today. (75-67). Carolina by 8. Carolina by 9. Davis up to 25. 76-67. 50 seconds to go as Watkins comes front side. He's just going to try a long-distance triple. No good. Rebound, Cormac Ryan. Ryan in the backcourt. Trying to fight through traffic. Gets it to R.J. Davis. Davis weaving front side. Crosses the timeline. Florida State's going to have to foul here. And finally, Baba Miller does with 34.7 to go. Carolina is on the verge of completing a massive comeback here. Down by 14 in the second half. Davis going to the line with the Heels up 9 and 34.7 to play. 25 for R.J. Davis. And, Marcus, that three, a big one a moment ago.
Absolutely. I had my 3 goggles on as well. R.J. Davis having a big-time afternoon. Everybody knew that he was going to be one of those guys this year, and I think that he's really just taken it upon himself to make sure that he's one of those guys that in this moment is leading us here in the second half.
Makes both free throws, so it's up to 78-67, and RJ is up to 27 points. That's 107 points now in the last 4 games. Darren Green will try a step-back 3 and swish it home. Boy, he can really shoot it. That's his 4th made 3 today. Florida State has matched their season high of 12 made 3s. The inbounds is tipped, but then Green picked up the loose ball on the baseline. So with 25.5 to go, Carolina will inbound again. Up 8, 78-70 after Green's 3. Cormac Ryan complaining that Florida State's reaching over the baseline. Ryan got to take a timeout. He could not run the baseline there, and he was deep in the corner to try and inbound it. That's a tough spot. We talked about that some last game. And so Carolina is going to take its penultimate timeout with 25.5 to go and a 78-70 lead over FSU. A couple of other finals for you, including this one in the ACC, but how about Villanova lost again? They get that win in Atlantis, lost the other night, and then they lose to Drexel today by 2. Other games in the ACC, earlier today we've told you Miami beat Notre Dame, Virginia topped Syracuse. Neither one of those games were particularly close. Miami won by 13, Virginia by 22. Georgia Tech has led pretty much the whole game against Duke, and the Jackets still with a slim advantage, 62-60 in Atlanta with 3:43 to go. Boston College and State just getting started. BC with a 5-2 lead just a couple minutes into the game. Here in the Smith Center, it is Carolina with the 78-70 advantage with 25.5 seconds to go. Ryan, a really tough inbounds here in the corner and gets it to R.J. Davis. Double team comes. Davis bounces out of it to Cadeau. Extra pass middle of the floor goes to Cormac Ryan. Tar Heels are on the front side. Ryan protecting the ball. Florida State still trying to just harass him. Ryan picks up his dribble, in some trouble, gets it with the bounce to Cadeau, and now Florida State's going to ease up. Cadeau will dribble it out. So Carolina down by as many as 14 in the second half, uses a massive run to take a 14-point lead of its own, and eventually top Florida State 78-70 to start the 71st season of ACC basketball off with a victory. Big one for Carolina today. They improved to 7-1 overall, 1-0 in ACC play for the second straight game.